all of you to today's webinar on fostering awareness on international scholarship and fellowships. I am Shweta Phadtare, your convener for today's session, and on behalf of Microbiology Society India, the purpose of this webinar is to delve into guide participants in exploring and securing international scholarship and fellowships to advance their academic and professional growth. I am confident that this session will leave all us enriched with valuable insights. We are honored we are honored to welcome Dr. Mosami Debnath ma'am, Associate Professor. Please unmute your mic. Mute your mic, sorry. We are honored to welcome Dr. Mosami Debnath ma'am, Associate Professor in the Department of Biosciences at Manipal University, Jaipur, Rajasthan. Dr. Debnath ma'am holds an illustrious academic and professional records with over 24 years of teaching experience and 26 years of research expertise. She earned her PhD from the University of Rajasthan, Jaipur, with a focus on the host pathogen interaction in Brassica gensea, has further enriched her qualifications with an MBA specializing in human resource management from IGNOU. Her career spans prestigious institutions including Bansthali Vidyapeeth Central University of Rajasthan and Jaipur Engineering College, where she has served in teaching, research, and administrative roles. Dr. Debnath ma'am has also contributed to industry as a chief manager at CEG Test House Research and a consultant at Chokidani Foods. Dr. Debnath ma'am research includes postdoc project at Purdue University of USA on plant metabolic profiling at CQ University of Australia. Ma'am has authored impactful books including Molecular Diagnostic in Springer, USA, Microbes Concepts and Application Valley Blackwell in USA, highlighting her expertise in biotechnology and microbiology. She has presented her research as prestigious international conference in Germany, Australia, New Zealand, Malaysia, and China, covering topics such as biofuel, medicinal plants, and metabolomics. Additionally, ma'am holds published patents including innovation in biosurfactant, eco-friendly detergent, probiotic beverage, and wastewater treatment technology. Dr. Debnath ma'am has received several prestigious awards, including the top researcher of the month at Manipal University, Jaipur in 2011, 22, and 23. Research Excellence Award, Ramdas Pai Excellence Award, All-Rounder Award, and Women in Science Award in 2023. She was also honored as the State President of Microbiology Society India in 2023. Other notable include Best Oral at ICIRMEE in 2021. She has received major research grants such as the Indware Postdoctoral Research Award in 2012 and the DAAD Germany Fellowship in 2008, along with the National Scholarship from the Government of India for her undergraduate achievements in 1991. Ma'am has been a finalist in the IGST IGSTTC Indo-German Science and Technology Center in collaboration with DST and DFG Germany, securing a grant of 1.8 CR. She successfully cleared 3 rounds of selection and was funded by DST to present her project at DFG Bonn, Germany. Ma'am has been invited to deliver talks at prominent academic institutions around the world, including Germany University of Vienna, Austria University of Auckland, New Zealand Dalian, China, and Malaysia. Thank you so much, ma'am, for joining us today. Without taking any more time, I kindly request ma'am to start session and take up through the topic of fostering awareness on international scholarship and fellowships. Thank you.
Thank you, Shweta ma'am, for such a illustrious type of a description. Can I share my slides now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. On the onset, I would like to thank Deshmukh sir for inviting me for this talk. And I hope everybody would feel their wings stronger when they finish this program. I wish everybody have a good knowledge of fellowship and funding uh, among all the faculty and students. Being a DARD awardee, I felt it was my um, best efforts to tell more about Germany. Being at Purdue University, I would like to showcase some of the uh, fellowships that you can get in USA, and also the funding that Shweta just mentioned, IGSTC. I would like to tell you something about it too. Apart from that, I would also emphasize on my Australian fellowship. So this is what I would like to cover. Myself, Dr. Moshmi, I would like to take you to this field of international funding and fellowship for faculty and students. So, whenever we look for the destination Germany, DARD is one of the biggest funding agency that we usually find. So I'm fortunate that I had been a DARD awardee, and this DARD has lot of individual funding, and they also have group funding. So being an alumni of DARD, I would like to tell you the different types of funding opportunities that DARD provides. And we all are not that much known to all the type of fundings, because it's a huge funding that they give for at different categories. So I would like to take you, handhold you, and let you know what type of findings they apply. Now we can apply for. Now, as you know, funding is basically at group level as well as at individual level. It is also for graduation, post-graduation, PhD, post-PhD, as well as scientist who wants to go for a longer stay, or scientist who wants to go for a shorter stay. So these are again sectored with people from India. So Indian office is at New Delhi. And there are other countries also which are able to get this type of a DART scholarship. So we'll be specifically looking for engineering and natural sciences today. So as I just explained, we'll be going for funding for scholarship, project funding also, co-funded schemes. So as I mentioned, these are the different category of people, like students, graduates, undergraduates, and postgraduates both are involved. The doctoral students, the postdoc students, senior scientists, and faculty. So if I look into it, this individual scholarships can be again of two types, like we going to Germany or Germans coming down to India. So there are scholarships for both ways. As you see in this presentation, in this slide, there are people going from India, as well as there are group of people study visit to Germany for groups of foreign students also. So it is either way. If you have a collaborator and you want those people to come to your to our country, then you can also go for just telling them that they can avail this scholarship. Okay, so these are certain scholarships that we are looking forward, where this is again and again coming. Okay, so there are students which are for basically engineers from India. So this is one of the scholarship which is called as the Combined Study and Practice for Engineers for India. Now, if your basic degree is an engineering degree, you can avail this. As I said, this type of scholarships are for all departments. all different basic science as well as engineering, as well as there are also for architecture, for people from arts. So you have to first check where is your basic qualification and how do you sync in with their requirement. So as you see here, there are research grants, and these research grants are also for long-term stay. I'm just giving you a brief initially, then I'll be going to one by one each particular type of a scholarship. So as I said here, for example, you are an aspirant who has taken a PhD program enrollment. Now you want to go to Germany and do it. Can you do it? Yes, there are certain cases where you still can do it using this type of binationally supervised doctoral degrees. So you have to choose someone from Germany, and then you will also have to look forward that whether you can do it in a sandwich program. As you see here, there are in-region scholarship programs at IIT too, which are funded by DART. There are fully funded programs where you can do your whole PhD in Germany. Now for the faculty, I would be going each one by one. I'm just giving you glimpses initially. So for the faculty, if I look into it, there are certain guest lecturership for professors at German universities. Now, these are all the people who want to go as a guest lecturer. But if you want to do research, like I went for research, so you can also go for a short-term research or you can go for a long-term research. It depends on the availability of time, and if you are chosen, then you can avail that particular opportunity. Now let's go one by one. This is a postgraduate course where your scholarship values is given here. As you see, most of the people are covered, like they get a scholarship, that's a stipend. There is a travel allowance, and there is also a insurance linked to it. Now, this scholarship, the university has a specific deadline. So sometimes DART gives a deadline, or it can be university related deadline. These days, there are many things which are university related deadline. This is a doctoral program. So this doctoral program, every year, there is a date. Okay, so what is the date? The date is around 20th of October. We just finished it a few months back. Now the duration is up to, so the maximum is 4 years, and the eligibility is a master's student. And as I said, you can go for a joint PhD, then it can be a PhD where you do half here and half there, or a fully funded PhD at Germany only. And there are certain allowances. Now these are all in euros per month. You have to look into which subject you have, what is the course that you want to go, and the broader course that you want to go for, and which particular university is having it. So you can start working on it right now, so that by the time next year you have this opportunity for all the courses, I mean to say, you can start with your application. Please remember, the whole tenure nearly takes a year, because you have to first contact the person. You must be doing many emails to many such supervisors, and you might get only a few responses. So please, if you want to go abroad and you want to study or do research or do a full-fledged course, do quite early, so that you have every information and you have a consent also. Please remember, one by one, each objective of your research should again and again be spoken, discussed, and then only you should go ahead. And usually all the German professors are very nice, and they help you out and they handhold you. They will tell you what has to be done and what not. But for that, you need to grow a confidence level. So let's come to the next one. That is again the research grant postdoctoral program. As you see here, the funding is always not more than 4 years. And the most important thing is, if you have a master degree and the degree is more than 6 years old, that means you have done 6 years before your master degree is 6 years old. That means after 6 years you want to do a PhD program, then you are not eligible. So be sure that you take a decision right now what you want to do, and then start communicating. In the era of internet, time and space, you can really look into it and manage it. So please start working before the time goes off. Now, this type of fellowships, there are certain places where Germany is such a place where language is also an issue. You have to learn the language. In certain places, learning and knowing German should be accredited with a certificate, but it is not always the same. So there are certain places where language knowing is a mandatory issue, but there are places where you can learn a few months course and go there, and then you are actually learning what they are teaching you. So language is again and again, you should look forward before you start taking any decision. I mean to say a final decision. Now, as you see, everything is funded. So funding is not a very big issue. Sustainability is not a very big issue in Germany, provided you have a scholarship. So getting a scholarship is again a very big hassle, because there are so many people who want to go. So within all the people, you need to be selected. So please remember your CV, how you make your work presentable, and how it is recognized by the whole people in the world is the major thing. So start making your CV proper, and actually that is the one which will be the most important thing for any type of understanding whether you are going to get that position or not. So please remember, your CV is the most important thing, that you need to decorate it with lots of publications, certificates, and yeah, they should be actually speaking about your skill to write, speak, and everything. I come to the next one, that is a binationally supervised doctoral degree. As I just told you, that this is another scheme. It's not like fully you are doing it in Germany. And this is one where the faculty is also getting lot of networking possibilities. So my dear faculty, my colleagues all over the country, whoever is listening to it, if your student goes there, you are also going with him on a virtual mode. So this will open so many opportunities for funding, where funding, as you know, India has gone through lot of MOUs with different types of countries, and Indo-German, Indo-Australian, Indo-Sweden, Indo-Austrian, these all scholarships, you can easily get it if your student also goes to Germany. So Germans, in Germany, you would get the Indo-German scholarship. I'll be coming to many other opportunities in the funding area also. But this is another way where you start establishing your German partner. So understanding just by emailing, you are not able to actually sink in the network. But when your student goes, he will actually bring to that country your thoughts. So please go with a binational type of a supervision also. And here the duration, if it is binational, full term it would be 4 years, binational would be around 2 years. So these are all the liabilities related to it. If I look into the people, my dear faculty member, if you want to go for a short period of time, specifically with females who also has lot of responsibilities at home, for them this is one of the best type of a scholarship. So this scholarship is the intimation is given twice in a year. It is in the month of April and in the month of October. So you can actually take up this opportunity to go to Germany And before that, you all have to make every details clear, because finally when you start conversing with your German guide, you would need the layout of your proposal. Every day, what you're going to do, you should have it on the paper. And then by the time he or she is convinced, they will give you the letter of consent, and then you can start making your arrangement for your visa. There's a nice thing. In case of this scholarship, the visa whole charges are paid by DARD only. So you just need your professor, request them where to stay and how I would be commuting, what I would be actually working on, and everything beforehand. And it is also mandatory that when you go to this country, try to visit the places, try to see their culture, because at the end of the time, you have to write a whole report. And that is very essential, that it is not just what you have learned in academics or in research, but you will also have to learn how cultural exchanges that you have done. So this is another thing. This is what there are large number of people who are going for this type of a exchange program, and academics and scientists both can do it. I come to the next. As you see, everything is linked with a very good financial payment that you would be getting, and it is totally funded. That means your travel allowances, your medical insurance is also funded. This is maximally of 3 months. You can go for 1 month, 2 months, or maximum to 3 months. But remember, start your preparation well before time. It might take more than 7 to 9 months to actually find out the right person, the right project, the right everything to start with. Okay, so this is another type of a fellowship program which can be availed up to 36 months, and they are in different DLR institutes in Germany, and it's in the field of space, aeronautics, or energy. I believe in this group, there might be people who are working interdisciplinary. So for them, this is another type of a fellowship program where you can also avail. So this is currently, there are the DLR is basically, as you see here, I have already written, is the National Research Center for Aeronautics and Space, and highly qualified postdoctoral scholars and doctoral scholars are the ones who are eligible. So it's a very far-fetching type of a scholarship. I would like to go for certain summer courses also, which are there. And this is a course which is for German language. So we can just go ahead of it. Okay, so there are again certain ones where the German visit to Germany for groups of foreign students are also there. As you see here, any university teacher can apply, and this can be a visit to Germany. Please understand, this is a group type of an assignment, and the group assignment that was been given would be for 15 students. So if you have a group of 15 students, and you can be the faculty in charge, and you can take your students there, and this student should be at least in their second semester or even higher semester. So at the max, you can go for 7 to 12 days. Apart from that, this is also having per day, they would be given an allowances, and there are 3 times that you can go for. It can be in the month of February, May, or November. These deadlines are for the application of this group fellowships. Okay. So I come to certain places where these are certain programs. I just put it only because I need to tell you that your eligibility for a program, you need to actually look into it. Am I actually eligible? Is my country eligible? Should I apply for it? Yes. So these are certain questions. Before you start working, we need to find out whether I am eligible or not. So here, as I show you, here we are not eligible. So please look into it. I have just made it in this way so that we can understand. Although the development related subject fields are very wonderful, renewable energy, public health, good governance. For 2 years, they'll give a scholarship, but we are not eligible for this. Okay, there are certain courses where the deadline says open. So it is all throughout the year that you can apply. Now, this is only for master's program. Now, this in-region master's program is one where it is applicable for IIT Mumbai. Similarly, as you find that here you can also find out one more thing before you apply. What is the job or what is the fellowship? What is the area? Now here it is PhD program in engineering, renewable energy and climate change. And the duration is for 5 years. So you just can understand that it is both ways. You can do it in India, in region, as well as there is a research stay in Germany. So these type of things are there where you need to actually look into what does the scholarship program talk about, and then you should start. Okay, this is another program which is called as the working internships in science and engineering. Now this is a program which is only for those students who are in their third year of engineering, and more or less that university also has to be accredited by the DART. So if the person is there in the third year, that means in the sixth semester, those students before they go to the sixth semester can also go for it. So this is for both science and engineering. And one more thing, this type of a program also speaks about is if your program is of 4 years. So with the new educational policies, there are certain programs which are even in science, they are of 4 years. So our students are also eligible to go for a brief stay of 2 to 3 months, and they can avail this scholarship. So till now, mostly it was the engineering students only who were working, and we all were not eligible. But with the new educational policy, this can be possible that our students can also avail this chance. Now, this is another program for engineers from India. It is having a maximum duration of 7 months, and the application deadline is usually in the month of April. I'll go to certain programs. As you find here, I'm just trying to move ahead because some of the programs are in the field of architecture. I kept them only because you must be working in certain fields where architecture people are also your collaborators. And then you can tell them that I can work in Germany in the field of architecture if you have a collaboration or your work is related to there. For example, there are so many people working with bamboos. Now they are also using bamboo. You are also working with bamboo. You can easily collaborate. You can avail this type of a project and then go. For example, you're working with some type of a building material which is going for high efficient buildings. You can also work with the architecture people. So it all depends which field you are working. So these type of postgraduate studies students can avail. There are some studies where we are also trying to interrelate our interdisciplinary studies with fine arts, design, or visual communications. So there are people in your house, you can tell them if you have any student known that these are also certain programs which DARD offers, and they can also avail it. There are certain development related postgraduate courses also. So my intention to showing you all the programs are There are courses for one and all. Now let's go for the DART application process. What is the application process? Till now, any queries I can answer to that? There are any queries? I'll just be back in a second. Any queries? Any queries? Any queries? Okay. So I start with the DART application process. Now, as I showed you, every course that is going to be publicized that this is the last date. So before that, you need to arrange a few documents with you. And let's start with the application process. So when I look into the application process, I find that I need to have certain things in my hand before I start filling up the form online. So first is you can just take down this site, this website. So on this, you would get all the information. Now, what do you need to make ready? Make all the documents ready before you start your application process. So the first thing is your current curriculum vitae. So please remember your CV should be updated and should contain everything that the application needs. Next is letter of acceptance. As I said, letter of acceptance is from your host institute. So the host institute would have a person whom you call your supervisor or guide or your mentor. So the host institute would have a particular nodal officer, the supervisor with whom you are in conversant, and the person will tell you how to go across in your particular proposal. So that is the person who would communicate with the office of the university and give you finally a letter. So that is your letter of acceptance. Please remember, this type of a letter, you don't get it in a very short period of time. Please develop a trust that the person now feels comfortable when you ask for this letter of acceptance.
So,
Then next is
one question. So the main point is to get the acceptance letter, because if there is no acceptance letter, then we cannot apply for this.
yes, yes, very true, very true.
And
Because
how much is the ma'am numbers of these particular fellowships? Like means it's not mentioned that how many fellowships they are providing for. What are
ma'am,
the
there are
numbers
enough
of that?
number of fellowships.
Yeah.
And government of India through DART DART office, they would actually be happy to entertain your queries. And if you make a proper application, you would be 100% selected. So it is not the number, it is the quality of the work that you have done and the place where you are going. If there is an opportunity, if your credentials sink in as a faculty, if you are going, or as a student, if you are going, then you just need to check what are the possibilities and then you start your application process.
Okay.
This year also many students from our university has gone, and especially with Germany, if the student is going for master degree, there is no tuition fees. That's what is very difficult with US. So there's a very hefty fees in US. But if you go to Germany, there is no tuition fees. So you have a possibility of having good education with affordable type of a budget. I hope
In
you
that
get it.
case, need to learn German as well, or it's not
No.
required?
It is not required in all parts of Germany. There are some part of Germany where obviously maybe your guide is not that much easy with English, then you need to learn. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. So, as I said, letter of acceptance may be given only when you have this letter of research proposal. So this research proposal is very, very essential. If you're going as a faculty, this research proposal will take you not less than 2 to 2.5 months to make it. So if that German professor is actually interested to make you work, so he will take his time, and you have to give him the time so that you both sit and make your research proposal. Now another thing which is very important, that is letter of motivation. How much motivated are you going there to see the world? Are you going there to meet people? Are you going there for networking? Or you're going there to have a nice time in Germany? All are there. It is a part of the program. But your main intention, if you're going as a faculty, then it would be to learn their disciplined way of research. So, so your letter of motivation should have all ingredients, whatever your thought process goes like. And please take time to write your letter of motivation. This is very, very essential, how you write your letter of motivation. Next is letter of reference. The letter of reference is, as we all know, we need LORs. So this letter of reference, you can think about people with whom you have worked. Please don't take any person whom you didn't have any type of a integrity. You're not worked with that person, you don't know that person, but as because he's a very big shot, you take a letter of reference from him. That does not matter. It may be only a small school teacher. It may be only a person with whom you have done 1 month, but you have made a quality type of an output with that 1 month interaction only. So that also is very essential. Plus again, remember, take letter of references from at least 3 people who are not from the same institution. So that is also very important. I hope you all get it. Letter of reference, letter of motivation is your domain, which you can start the work right from now if you want to go. Now, this academic documents is also one more thing. I was like, in this particular DAD, your usual degree certificate or your mark sheets can go. But when you go for Australian scholarships or even the US scholarships, there it is the transcript. I lost 2 years only because I was applying with my master degree and my degree certificate and my mark sheets, but they don't recognize that. In Germany, they do. I had submitted only my mark sheet and my certificates that went. But please remember, transcripts are known all over world in the same way, and that is quite the one which they needed. And also there are certain supporting document. Now this supporting document is another thing within the brackets, depends upon the course that you are applying for, what they need as supporting documents. So please remember, you need to prepare your documents well ahead of time. Don't sit at the last minute to start your submission. And as you know, there is always a rush at the last minute, and you might not be having everything. So keep every document ready. I'll be telling you some plus and minus that you need to remember. And then finally, there is no application nowadays by post, but do look into it. If that's what they need by post, then you have to send it by post. So this is how the portal opens. So this is the portal. You need to first make your own registration, and this is how they start with it. And if you're not registered, then you cannot start. So do sign in. This is the first page which opens. So this is project funding and personal funding. Now we are now going for this personal funding. So don't go for project funding. I'll be showing you one of the project funding schemes also. So this is personal funding. Now, as you see here, once you just start this personal funding, so there are announcements, right? And documents. Now, please remember, if you're writing anything or if you're even typing anything and the typos are very small, it can't be read. So please, and the most important thing, as it has already been said, that if you are eligible, check your country, everything, whether you are actually eligible. As I showed you all the different types of announcements, there were some for master degree, but is the master degree what I did, I can apply? It maybe my subject is not there, so I'm not eligible for it. So this is what the announcement says. Read carefully till the end. Okay. Now, when you are submitting, never ever submit a doc file. A Word document is not appreciated, not allowed. You cannot load it. It is only a PDF file. And try to connect every documents with you and then sit and start submitting. Okay. So try to do it in one go. This makes it very easy. Please remember, do not use those scans, because you will have to scan so many of your documents. So don't use those scans which are not properly showing your what you want to show. Maybe it's your certificate, it's not scanned properly. So please go through all the documents that you're uploading. Maybe the one which you are asked to do has 2 sides, but you did only 1 side, because you won't be asked back. Once you are submitted, it is their domain. They would check and they would tell you whether you actually are eligible or not. If you're not eligible, there is no process of going ahead. In the first go only, you are out. So please remember all your documents, check them, find out whether they are legible, whether they are complete, whether they are correct. Correct means if you are asked to say to upload your certificate, don't upload your mark sheet. So it is what has been asked, only upload that. And please remember, there are some places where you have to fill it in capital letter, but not all. So what has been asked, do that only. And as I again and again say, don't go on the last date. Try to do it well before time. So after you go for personal funding, then go for applications. Okay. Now, once you go for application, as you see here, it is well said, fill in the form, add attachments, overview, and then finish. Looks very easy, but when you start sitting and filling up all the forms, you find there are so many hiccups. So in case you are starting such a form and you need my help, I'm always there. But please remember, go through the website. There are so many help sites also. So you know all these documents are required, and then keep them all handy in one folder, and you can just keep on adding it. Now, I'd like to speak something about the joint DST-DFG calls. Now, these are certain grants that my fellow faculty members would be interested to have, and the beneficiaries are the early career researcher. Recently, our government has also announced many such grants for early career researcher. Please try to take this, because this comes twice a year, and there are 2 deadlines, one in February and one in August. But this is a joint call. That's what I said. If you are having a network, if your student is going there, 2 ways, student going there, or you have already made a network with any type of a German collaborator, you can easily draft your proposal and send it. So please remember, networking is essential for this. I had been a recipient of Indo-German Science and Technology Center projects. I was a recipient till the 3rd stage I could move in the 2+2 program. But I was happy that at least I could move till the 3rd stage. And government, in fact, funded me to go to Germany. And that was the main DFG center is in Bonn. So this 2 plus 2 means what? 2 plus 2 means 2% from India and 2% from German. So Germans, they can have an academic or a research industry or a institute, university, plus 1 is an industry head. So this is the composition of the German collaborator. In India, it is a researcher in a research institute or a university or a college, whatsoever it is, 1 person from a research and another person from an industry, provided you also have a DSIR certification and the industry also has a DSIR certification. If both ways you have a DSIR certification, you are eligible to start applying for this proposal. Every year there is a concept. On this particular concept only, you can go ahead. Like sometimes it is climate change, sometimes it is on semiconductors, sometimes it is on batteries. I applied on a wastewater treatment program. And as you see, this was my first slide on which we had applied. And it is like OmniActive was my partner here. They have their, we were working on the Pune factory and Manipal University, Jaipur. I'm the PI of this group, and there Professor Manfred with the group, and Dr. Ingu was from a particular industry, and we all collaborated. So after each 6 months, we used to get a report that you have qualified this level, and then you go to the next level. And finally, all 4 of us had to go there to Germany and propose whatever we have been writing throughout, give a presentation, and that's what it goes. So the industry has a net, they can go for 50 lakhs, whereas the university can get around 1.8 CR. And unfortunately, I couldn't clear the final round, but yes, it was really a good learning that you do. So this is the IGST, TC, these programs, and all my travel and stay was fully covered by DST. So it's also from DST and DFG. This is the thing. There's another program for females, that is Women Involvement in Science and Engineering Research. That's WISER. We can also apply for WISER program. These are the 2 scholarships. So go to the next continent, that is Australia. I've been a recipient of Endeavour Postdoctoral Fellowship. You can also look into that, but recently in the alumni office, when I inquired, because I couldn't find it, that Indians are not eligible. So unfortunately, this scholarship is not there right now. But people from Nepal, Bangladesh, Pakistan, they are eligible to take the Endeavour Scholarship, which is also called as the Australia Award. But if you are interested to go for certain funding for grants, this is another grant that you can go. Maybe you have a good collaborator there, that is called as the Indo-Australian Science and Technology Fund. And this is also with DST and the Australian government. So please remember, there are again different types of topics. Research projects are the particular agenda of that year. And the application must fall within this particular area of research. As you see, I just put this because I wanted to have the slide to show you that there are so many grants, there are so many fellowships. After COVID, it has been decommissioned. So please look into it. Don't be in that point that you are whole year you're working on getting the application prepared by you, but when you start working, you find that it is not coming because it has been decommissioned. So please look into, get every updates before you go ahead. So I was at University of Melbourne and Central Queensland University, Australia for this. For US universities, if you're going, I was at Purdue University. There is a wonderful scholarship program, a fellowship program, which is funded by Ministry of External Affairs and the US Department of State. As you see, most of the subjects that we think about is all in the areas where people can get a fellowship from this particular scheme. Now, 2025-2026 is already in the row. Whenever you look into such schemes, check whether you have made a contact with your US partner. And this is very essential. If he gives you a letter of acceptance or she gives you a letter of acceptance, then only you can start working. Please remember there are certain eligibility requirements for this also. And the basic requirement is whether you can get a grant of leave during your fellowship period. So please ask your university whether I can avail a leave for the granted period or not, because you cannot leave your job and then go and do this. So please make sure that when you come back, you get your leave, you get your job back. Same with DAD also. You have to get a leave before you get the before you go for your scholarship. So as I just pasted these things, I did not want to keep you in any type of illusion that your subject is not there. All subjects are covered in Fulbright scholarship, and as you see here, all of them. Now, if anyone wants to take a screenshot, you can take it. This is very clear. Fulbright scholarship is like, what are the checklists that you need to have? So while you start preparing to go to US, make sure you have started your work well before time, looking into the checklist. So this is already available on the website. So please look into the instructions and the checklist and then start doing it. And then prepare your CV according to the requirement that they have. Obviously, you should start working with try to find out a person who is working there and can actually be your host. So first, finding a host is the first criteria to go abroad. Yes, it has a wonderful grant benefit that you get. Everything is supported. Even in Australia, there were lots of support, and it is a wonderful scholarship program that you get. Grants is not the only thing. It is just the start of your career where you are now exposed to different people around the globe. You can do a wonderful network once you are getting a scholarship, a fellowship, or a grant. So please remember deadlines. You need to start working well ahead of that. Thank you so much for patient learning. I'm open to discussions.
Thank you, ma'am, for such an enlightening session. We now open the floor for questions from our participants. If you have any questions, please ask.
I have one small question which is on the chat box with relation to visiting professorship.
Okay, sir. I can't see the chat box. Can anyone help? So you can speak it out. I'll try to answer.
Now to visit US, what is the fellowship which will help to get a visiting professorship for say 1 week or 2 weeks?
Oh, sir, 1 week, 2 week is very small. You won't get. US is such
No,
a
I
place.
don't need
Visa,
a research grant or I don't want to do the research.
I
But I want to
understand.
go for the giving lectures.
Sir,
Either.
I remember from CFTRI only when I was there was one professor, and he was also for, I think so, more than a month there.
No, in fact, Dr. Bhunia was in CFTRI last week.
No,
I
sir.
apply. I am now trying to apply with him for ICMR DHR fellowship.
Okay, so you can talk to Professor Handa, who is at Purdue University.
Yeah,
And
in fact, I
yes,
visited Purdue University, and the photograph which you have shown with the Neil Armstrong, even I also have a
okay, okay.
photograph there.
Right. So you can talk to Professor Handa. Maybe he can support you.
Okay.
Earlier, Professor Gupta had gone when I was there, and
Okay.
he was in that. So going to US, I think so. You need some people. In fact, I went to US also because my work was highly appreciated at University of Wien when I had presented my work, and Professor Raghu was there, and he told me, Mashmi, do you want to go? And I was at Professor Natalia Dudaria's lab. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yes, sir.
In Germany, which place you were?
I was at Roche Lusowitz, sir, because I was working in university in abatic stress tolerance. So I wanted to make sure that I go to a institute which is working in abatic stress tolerance only. So I went to Institute of Abatic Stress Tolerance, Roche Lusowitz. It's a JKI institute, Julius Kuhn Institute.
That is near Munich or
It's near Hamburg.
Hamburg? Achha.
Yes, sir.
No, there was one Mosmi Chatterjee, I remember. So I thought maybe it is you only in
Yes.
Munich.
No,
LM.
Mashmi Devnath. Yeah.
Very good presentation.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, ma'am, I have one question that is it matter that publications are also matters when you are applying for like visiting faculty or
Yeah, ma'am, no one has seen you working. No one knows you working. It is only your publication which goes in the application. So that is the one which certifies that you can work, you can write, you can replicate the process that you have written. So that is the only thing which certifies that you are worth to be taken. Because once you go there, the first day only you are given a bunch of keys. Now it is all in the other way around with a card that you open. But the thing is, the whole lab they will open for you. If you are worth, they only can open. Naman. So it is certified by your work that you have done till now. Is it convincing?
thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am, I have a question.
Yes, please.
I saw a flyer of Max Planck Institute for Infection Biology. They are providing a summer internship,
Okay.
and it requires that you need to be enrolled in a course. I'm right now enrolled in MSc, but it's my third semester, and it will be over by the time the internship starts. So am I
Okay,
eligible?
ma'am, you apply it, and maybe they have all the norms. Usually, the final year students are not allowed. Uh, so, if it is a short-term course that you are or a long-term course, let me know. But usually, the final year students, as I told you, the WISE program is only for third year students. So, final year students are already ready to go in other countries, or they already have their own plans. So usually final year students there's a bit of hitch. So ma'am, the most important thing is check the eligibility. Every course has different type of an eligibility. Like you are doing one course where the eligibility finishes, but there may be similarly another course which may be for a longer duration and you are eligible for it. I hope you understood what I said.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you. Yes. Is it helpful what I said? Ms. Sumbul, is it helpful
Yes,
what I
ma'am.
said? Yeah.
Yes, ma'am, definitely. Thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions? Okay.
Did you avail that re-invitation program?
Yes, sir.
DAD re-invitation program.
Yeah, they were again, this year they have invited specially alumni, but I did not take. I had my personal a few engagements. My daughter went this year to US, so I didn't. I had lots of engagements. Many people have applied. Any other questions? Any other questions? Any other questions?
No
Ma'am,
other questions from Yes, I believe.
Yes.
ma'am, is there any specific format for the curriculum writing?
No, there is no such format. I submitted in the usual format only.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. The most important thing is letter of motivation. And don't use Chat GPT or AI. So try to write it in your own words. That's very important. What you actually want to do, because that is another way how they judge your writing skills also. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Any other questions? What will be the suggestion for marine biology PDF fellowship? Marine biology, there are lots of scopes. I also have one paper on marine biology, on marine drugs, long back while I was in MSc. So there are a lot of scopes in Australia with marine biology. A lot of scopes in Japan. So please look into these two countries. What
And
does
Thailand
the-
also.
Yeah, Thailand also. I'm not very sure with Thailand. I've not been there. But these two countries, sir, we have very, very good.
My one
opportunities.
student is working right now and
Okay.
he's working on this marine biology related topic.
Okay. Wonderful.
There is actually a question from the participant. Madam, can we apply for 3 months internship to Germany when we are master students?
Sir, master students can go for a direct interaction with the professor there. Send them an email. If they have some fellowships, you can easily talk to them. So they might give you some type of a fellowship. It may not be granted by DART, but that type
exactly.
of a thing. Yeah.
Small visiting.
Yes.
Next question is what does fully funded degree means?
Fully funded degree means you will be getting a stipend from DAD. You would be getting a travel grant once you go and when you come back. And there will be an insurance, medical insurance, which will be attached with your whole fellowship program. This is fully funded. You're getting per month allowances, that is stipend. And
I
as
don't know
such,
whether you have answered this question. Please give us some brief elaboration about Wiser Fellowship for Women.
Sir, Wiser, I'm not very much sure, but we all are eligible. I think so. There's a deadline. 55 years is the deadline till when you are eligible. So and
Yeah, this is the DSTH program for the unemployed or who has a career break, I guess.
no.
To do research in India, like
no.
BioCare.
So that is WOS.
Yeah, WS ABC.
Yeah,
And now
this is
BioCare also is
Wiser.
another program
Yeah,
from
yeah.
DST.
But Wiser, a 55-year, below 55 can apply. Yeah, any other questions or else we can wind up?
Now there are 3-4 questions in the chat box, team.
Okay.
We will complete that and we'll stop because it is very late now. One
Yes.
more is what will be the suggestion for marine biology PDF fellowship?
Yeah, I answered, sir. They should try for Australia
Okay.
and
And
Japan.
one more question, just what a BSc biotechnology first year student can do, how to make our building base strong, because
Okay.
student is in BSc first year biotechnology.
Yeah, there are so many building sciences programs, like high efficient buildings, right? And if even if you now with the new education policies, you can drift from one program to the other program. So we are also working on biocementing. So you can drift to such programs where biological organisms are also utilized for high efficient building, and they are also less energy taking. So you can also go for daylight. So all these things, if you can look across who are the people working in Germany, talk to them on emails and check whether they are ready to take you. But before that, make your CV worth enough to be taken with a scholarship. So you have to keep on writing some
Yes.
papers. Yeah.
Okay, then very
Okay, ma'am.
excellent and very informative.
Thank you, sir.
And this will be circulated again on YouTube link.
Thank
So
you.
many more students will take advantage of it.
Thank you, sir.
Very nice, ma'am. Again, I will not thanks you because you are part and parcel of Microbiology Society.
Yes, sir.
So it's a great work. Now, Shweta ma'am will express vote of thanks.
Yes, sir. Thank you, ma'am. It is my privilege to propose the vote of thanks for today's webinar on behalf of Microbiology Society, India. I extend my heartfelt gratitude to our speakers, Dr. Mosami Debinath, ma'am, for sharing her deep insights and expertise on international scholarship and fellowships. Your session was truly inspiring and left us with valuable takeaways that will help us think more deeply about this important subject. I would also like to express my sincere gratitude to Dr. A.M. Deshmukh sir, All India President of the Microbiology Society India, for his constant guidance, support, and encouragement in making this event possible. Sir, your vision and leadership have always been a source of inspiration for all of us. I would further like to thank all our participants. A special thanks to our organizing team. Lastly, we are grateful to all those who joined us today, making this session a success. We look forward to your continued participation in our future events. Thank you so much and have a wonderful day ahead.
Thank you so much. Thank you, sir, for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
So I will stop the link now.
Yes.
Thank you, Deshmukh sir.
Thank you, sir.